Good morning, students. As you know, in chapter 1, that is life processes, we have first of all dealt with nutrition, the first life process. Then we started respiration. Then it was transportation. And last type of life process that we have to read in this chapter is excretion. Now the question arises, what is excretion? The removal of the nitrogenous waste from the body is called excretion. And nitrogenous waste is generated basically when our body digests the protein rich food. So nitrogenous waste is toxic for the body, not very good for the body, and it needs to be removed. Excretion protects the body from the toxicity of waste. And one more important thing about excretion is osmoregulation. What is osmoregulation? It is the process of maintaining a proper amount of water and salts in the body. And because of the excretory system, we are able to maintain a proper amount of water and salts in the body. That is osmoregulation. It also maintains the blood pressure. So, if the question arises, what is the significance or the importance of excretion? Three things should be there in your mind: that excretion helps to remove the nitrogenous waste. It protects the body from the toxicity of the waste. It helps in osmoregulation and maintains the blood pressure. Because this is the first question that arises, write the importance of excretion. Now, if you see excretion in unicellular organisms, because you know in every life processes we have divided every life process like under three categories. First, in unicellular organism, then in plants, and then in animals. So here also in excretion we will deal with the unicellular organism, how excretion happens in unicellular organism, then plants and animals also. So let's begin with the unicellular organism. They are made up of single cell only, and they don't have a special excretory organs. So how do they excrete out the waste which is generated in their body? Because they are also living, they are also producing and generating some of the waste which is toxic for their body, not so good for their body. So they remove it with the help of process called diffusion. Specifically saying, they have got a contractile vacuole to collect the water. It happens like this. For example, it is a amoeba, unicellular organism, nucleus of the amoeba, and this is the contractile vacuole they have for removing the excess of water. So this contractile vacuole, when it swells up because of the water, it swells up, it increases in size, and if excess of water is there inside the body of the amoeba, then it will go nearby the cell membrane and it will try to release the water. So this is the simple mechanism they have. They do not have the excretory system, but yes, they have got contractile vacuole in which they fill water, they move nearby the cell membrane, they release their excess water, and in this way their body maintains the correct amount of water. Contractile vacuoles help in osmoregulation. Osmoregulation means the process of maintaining correct amount of water. Now in this slide you will learn about different organisms and their organs related to excretion. Like you have read in 9th class about platyhelminthes, flatworms. So they have got flame cells. Annelids, earthworms, they have got nephridia for excretion. Then crustaceans, they have got green glands. Then insects, Malpighian tubules. Mollusks and vertebrates, they have got kidneys. So this slide will give you a clear picture of different excretory organs in different organisms, lower organisms basically. So this much for today. Revise well.